Hey guys, welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself from the moment the title is spoken. And holy shit, like, look at what's going on. All these changes we have, like, we have shirts now, we're on Spotify now, we're actually like, well, that's still not true. We're still definitely not professional.
We're unprofessionals on professional platforms.
We are professional unprofessionals.
I love it.
So, as always, Adam aka CSRadical here, the Radical in the VCR. We have Vish. How's it going, Vish?
What's up, y'all?
It's weird having a vacation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only halfway through.
I can't believe you've never been on a week-long
you're
vacation
halfway there.
And he's already starting the singing stuff in the middle of the podcast. All right.
Yep.
Well, there's
It's
the
friendly.
If there's the VCR bingo card, we've already scratched that one off. But yeah, it's kind of weird because normally when I worked, I always had like only enough time that I would take like a day here and there off, never a full week. This is the first time I've ever had 3 full weeks of vacation allowed to me.
That's
And
insane.
I've never, like, the longest vacation I ever took was for the convention that I go to, which is only taking 2 or 3 days off at most. So it's like a full week is like unheard of to me. It's like March break all over again back in college. It's been a while.
This has got to be weird for you.
It is very weird for me. Like,
Dude.
Today is normally my day off of work, and it's now the 3rd day in a row off work. It's very confusing.
And you got more to go.
Yeah.
Well, what I think you should do, I think you should go get drunk in Mexico.
Well, considering I'm straight edge and I don't travel very much, I figured that the odds of that are probably 0.1%.
You should play Yakuza and drink in that game. as a
Okay,
character.
I can definitely do that. I can definitely do that.
Is
And
he
then go sing some
virtually
karaoke.
is he virtually drinking or drinking?
Virtual.
Oh, virtually drinking.
Oh, okay.
As a Yakuza.
So I think you should drink in Grand Theft Auto 5 and cause a massive car crash into 5-star
You
criminal
don't
rating.
have to drink to do that.
you
would
can
just-
just drive with the
In fact,
normal
it's probably
controls and
worse
hit a
if you
lot
drink.
of people. Yeah.
I was bored one day when Grand Theft Auto 3 came out, so it was on the PC. So I just got the cheat code to get all the weapons, and I just went on a mass shooting spree. I'm like, this is so much fun. I wonder if I should get my head examined.
And this is why people think video games cause violence.
Oh, that's because they do. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
So because I have to be proper, we never properly introduced the C, which is Chris. How you doing?
Good.
Where's the gin at? Perfect.
I'm holding it.
And see, it's in video format,
now
so they
people
know
can
there's
see.
actual gin. We know we're not lying.
And we got vodka for the V.
And I have oxygen.
Yay! You will live. Tell our tales.
I ain't telling shit. So, last podcast we did a going back in time podcast. Now, originally we thought we were going to not have a podcast till Joker, but Joker is still not out. We actually got another one in sooner than we thought. So
Yeah.
I figured because there's still fucking nothing to talk about. September is still the dead month that I said it was last week.
Yep. Mostly.
So I figure we already did the past. Why not the future?
I like it.
But first, let's talk about the present. So, I'll start with you, Chris. What have you been doing for the past... I guess, well, in this case, we recorded Friday and it's now Wednesday. So, what have you been doing the last 5 days?
Well, on Friday, Link's Awakening came out, the remake on Switch. I have played too much of that game.
There was no such thing as playing too many video games. Let's get that
This is
out.
true. This is true. I agree with this statement. It is a shorter game.
It's all about efficiency. The quicker you play, the quicker you get it done.
Yes, exactly.
And then you can move on to the next game.
I'm trying to destroy my backlog, so this is good advice, actually.
For
Very
the
good
record,
advice.
this guy has about 300 games on his backlog, and
402. Keep it.
And he
See,
bought-
You clearly need to buy 18 more then.
I know.
and
It's
he
not
bought
an
Link's
even number,
Awakening brand
No,
new
just because it's 420.
day of.
Because that's the thing. It's either going to be 420 or 69.69. Otherwise, it's not cool, right?
That's true. That is very true. But Link's Awakening, amazing remake. It is a bit of a shorter game, but I mean, it was a shorter game before.
Have you finished it yet?
I'm on Dungeon 8 of 9, so very close.
So, in your opinion, do you think it was worth the full price tag? Because you did talk about that on
I
Friday.
don't think at all.
I don't think so, only because for the same price, there's a lot of other
So
Nintendo
how much
games.
do you think they should have charged for it?
50.
Because a lot of people, I figure, was around the
$49.99.
40 to 50
Well,
range.
Yeah.
To be entirely honest, all it is a remaster of a Game Boy game, and Game Boy
It's not
games
a remaster; it's a full remake.
remake of a Game Boy game.
Yeah.
And Game Boy games were not long, in plain and simple.
None of the
Like,
games really were back in the
so
day. It's just
nowadays, like with the higher price of video games, you should get your money's worth out of it. It's like when I bought Uncharted 3, I beat it in 9 hours, and I bought it the day it came out, and I was pretty disappointed because I'm like, I was spending this much on one game, and I finished it in a day, and now it's a game I'll probably never play again.
Yeah.
I mean, I figure if they wanted to do it right, I mean, obviously charge less, but I think it would have been really cool for them if they had added more into it. Like, obviously, as you said on the last podcast, too, they started putting Super Nintendo games in there. It would have been really cool if they said, hey, here's Link Awakening, but as a bonus, we get you a free copy of Link to the Past.
Oh, that actually would have been a great package, a Link's Awakening, a Link to the Past remaster.
I wouldn't say a remaster because I think that's a whole long... that would be another year or two for that.
That's
so
fine.
For them to release Link's Awakening, at least say, here's a copy of the original Link to the Past as like a bonus. Normally it's like a $5-10 value. Yeah. Maybe even throw the original Zelda in there. I don't know what's on the actual
Link's
retro
Awakening,
stuff.
A Link to the Past is in the Switch Online.
What about
service.
The like literal original Zelda for
the original Zelda's on there?
So then package those two together.
Yeah,
that would have been a neat idea.
I think they should have made
Nintendo figured they were going to get their money's worth because Zelda fans were going to pay anything for that.
So. And it's not an overly short game. When I say short, it's still 15 hours, I think, and all in all. It's short for a Zelda game.
It's not that. It's short for $70.
No, that's not necessarily true because we pay $80 for a lot of games depending on what they are that are like even 10.
The only
like there are like say Detroit Become Human, like games like that. Like it depends on the value of that time.
But with those games, do they have an online campaign mode?
I don't think that necessarily matters. It really does depend on the quality of the content. I am still like a guy who likes getting more bang for his buck in terms of hours because I don't have a lot of money to spend to begin with. So it makes sense for me that I'd rather have a game like, say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I can throw 100 plus hours in. Whereas in other games, like I would love to buy Titanfall, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and all these games when they come out, but the campaign is like 5 to 10 hours, and then the online I kind of come and go to.
That's the thing with a lot of the games that they're charging a lot. The campaign itself isn't very long. Like I believe Gears of War's campaign is about 8 hours long, but Gears of War really makes its profit and really makes its bang on the online co-op gameplay.
That's the thing too. Like if Call of Duty was supposed to be a single player game, it would not be getting your value, but because that its main focus is the multiplayer, it makes sense. So for Zelda, if the 15 hours is a really good 15 hours, then for a Zelda game that probably works.
It was really, really good, and Nintendo did try something. There's a Zelda Maker part that's been added into it, but it feels kind of like it's a prototype. As you beat dungeons...
I think they are planning on actually making a full Zelda Maker.
This is definitely like their attempt at it, because if you... throughout the game, you get certain tile pieces, and what happens is you take them over to a hut, and you actually get to build your own dungeon using all the different pieces you collect.
Well, they're only doing it in the 2D versions of the Zelda, right?
Well, it's in the Link Awakening game, so it's only like the pieces of the Link's Awakening.
Oh, okay.
But I know what he's asking. As far as I know, I think the actual Zelda Maker is only going to be as far as Super Nintendo graphics. I don't think they're doing
because
3D.
They tried to make it with the graphics for even Ocarina of Time. That shit's gonna be really difficult.
This is the problem.
It'll be difficult.
There's a reason why Mario Maker after 2 editions still only goes as far as the new Super Mario's DS sort of form,
and not
because
like 3D.
There's no way that you can do that Maker in 3D without it being so much more complex than it would ever have to be.
They should make it for Galaxy.
Games like RPG Maker back in the day.
Oh
those games even at its core were complicated, and then when people tried to make actual other games out of it, every once in a while I go through the PlayStation Store. In fact, they had a big in Japan sale recently. And you look at some of those games, and you can so easily tell they're RPG Maker games.
Oh, yeah.
But people have just added their own little systems to go with it.
Like To the Moon? You ever played
that? Not
that?
even that, just in terms of battles. Oh, sorry, you were talking about the games. I've never heard of it.
Oh, it's an RPG Maker game, but no battles, completely story. And it's one of those ones that you play it, and then at the end, 7 out of 10 people cry.
Oh.
It's like one of those games. Very, very, very intense. It's like 6 hours of just your emotions being stomped on.
So is it like Chrono Cross where I cried at the end because I wasted my fucking money on that game?
No, it's definitely because of the story. The concept is you're 2 scientists that go into people's memories when they're about to die, and you have regrets. They go into memories, kind of like that movie
Eternal
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You go in to fix the memories. Only this time they're going in to fix them so that when they die, they have no regrets.
So it's the Grave with the Fireflies of video games.
Yeah. No, nothing is that sad in video game form.
It's definitely not that sad.
There's nothing that sad in video game form yet. They've tried and they can't get to that point.
I've never
finished playing a game that made me so depressed I wanted to end my life. Yeah. Grave of the Fireflies, on the other hand, is very good at doing
I have never watched Grave of the Fireflies. I think I need to watch it just once.
Do it alone in bed at 2 a.m.
This is the
That's how I watch
That is the absolute worst.
This is the perfect time considering you have nothing really in the way, so you're not going anywhere suddenly just destroy the. Because if you literally had to go into work one day after watching that movie, you will get nothing done. You won't be able to get out of bed.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyways, Vish, what have you been up to?
So gaming-wise, and unfortunately, nothing's been really going on in my gaming life or anything. I have been revamping. I've been working a lot on revamping my own website for vishalsviews.com. Currently, nothing's been there, but I'm planning on doing a lot of revamping for it. And I will say what I have been doing recently is doing a course for Adobe Illustrator, because that's one program I'm not familiar with. But you know what? I gotta know it. So what I'm planning to do with Adobe Illustrator is, oh, by the way, everyone, we now are on Instagram. There's nothing on it yet, but there will be plenty of content coming up in the near future.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be war rooming after this podcast, because we need to figure what everybody's going to do, because now that the way that so far we got to figure it out is you're going to be our social media whore, because that's
just
thing.
Me in general.
That's his thing. I mean, we got a tablet going on there. There's a phone behind me he's live streaming on 2 different Instagram accounts, so you can already tell this guy's his whole life is this now.
Yeah.
So,
also, the war room, I'm assuming that's the bar, right?
Oh, of course.
Just to clarify.
So, like, it's a matter of figuring out what all of us need, like, get some
But I am trying to really build an interesting portfolio, one that is fun and informative and just entertaining. So, with Adobe Illustrator, I figured I could, like, Photoshop us into, like, weird comic sequences, like we're taking on a zombie apocalypse. We're saving the world from aliens.
Can us 3 collectively stab Aerith in the back?
Yes.
Spoilers. Okay.
Final Fantasy VII.
Which one's Aerith? Is that?
Oh, that's the girl who gets stabbed by Sephiroth. Spoiler alert from like a two-decade old game, I think.
No, it's 22 years old.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Spoiler doesn't exist. I say after 5 months, spoiler alert doesn't exist.
Usually the way that I try to word is like, look, if you've had like a full year and you still haven't looked into it, look, it's not my fault anymore. Well, yeah, you've noticed that like ever since we really started taking this seriously, and this is the first post-podcast to when we finally got properly in podcast materials. Now, we are looking to get in more. We're still waiting for them, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, like a few of those we're still waiting on. It says it's supposed to take 24 to 48 hours. I haven't seen anything since Spotify, so we're keeping up with it.
I know, honestly, Spotify is the
It is like Spotify is suddenly like I remember looking level. Like Apple Podcasts is where like the chunk. It's like 40% of all podcast listens come from there. Spotify's next up, I think, with like 9 or 10.
Well, the only thing
everything
is
else
with
is
Apple,
like divvied up like very very evenly with everything.
The Apple is just plain simple because of the iPhone. Spotify is
rising, that's for sure.
Is rising, and Spotify has more availability because you can't get Spotify on Android devices, which 2 of the 3 of us have. Chris is the Apple douche.
I am.
He is the trendy douchebag.
So,
but yeah, we've noticed that ever since like all this kind of really started, like all of us are seeming to want to like ramp things up. You're really pushing hard on getting your brand going. I finally have like a real interest in going forward with this stuff rather than just like now I put a video out the other day that I'm canceling my own solo podcast because basically what I do there is the same as here but with 2 more people. And I feel that it's weird that I would talk about the same shit with no back and forth, and at the same time like I feel like it's not nearly as I'm not nearly as like interested in doing it every week now as compared to every time we do one of these. I cannot wait.
Well, it's hard to make a conversation with yourself. If you bounce off to 1 or 2 people, it's a lot.
You gotta just put a mirror.
Like when I do my wrestling stuff, no problem. But that's because I'm so passionate about it and I have nobody else to talk with it about, so I can just go.
Fair
Whereas
enough.
here, I have so many other outlets to talk about gaming. And not to mention, most gaming news is getting boring these days, like unless it's just raging about stuff.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got that on the rise, and
So-
I was telling these guys about that crazy little anime idea that I have in the pipeline that I'm hoping to get going with. So
I actually like, even myself, with my own website, I have a idea for what I hope to turn into a graphic novel one day. And people, don't be offended by the title. I am going to call it The God Killer.
Nice.
I mean, we all play video games, so I'm sure we've killed our share of them.
Yes,
God of War is literally
a God Killer.
By a god.
By a god.
But anyways,
but not born a god.
Speaking of killing, well, I guess not killing gods, but hanging off.
Speaking of killing gods,
but I guess hanging off
the power of Christ compels you.
But in speaking of hanging off the balls and cock of statues of gods,
yes.
So what I've been doing is Assassin's Creed Odyssey still. 45 hours in now. I did finally go to Athens.
Yes.
only because I explored enough around the area that either everything was either level gated, so I was too low level to go there, or they were all really far islands, and I'm like, I'm sure there's going to be a reason for me to go out there, so maybe not. Yet.
Actually, I beat the game, all the DLC, all the achievements, and there's still like 5 islands to the right.
Oh, I will definitely get to those before I get
to for the record, peeps, I have not played Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed 2.
Odyssey is great. At least actually, Origin's great too, but Origin was like the step closer to Odyssey.
My issue with Assassin's Creed became the issue I had with Call of Duty and the issue I had with EA games. There's a new game every year with the most minuscule, unnoticeable difference, which is not. That's what made Uncharted. That's what made God of War. And I've never played, but Gears of War is so special. It wasn't every year. They took their time.
It really depends on
change the quality.
I think it helps for me that I hadn't played an Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag. So by the time that I got to Odyssey, because I tried Origins, my computer couldn't. Well, I could handle it, but on really low settings, and I'm too much of a quality to care.
You don't want anything on low settings.
I didn't have any interest in Syndicate or Unity, and Unity was apparently a broken mess.
It came out broken.
Is Unity the one with the pirate ships?
No, that was Black Flag.
Unity's
Black Flag is one that you should play.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it'd be fun. I know,
it's super
I know
fun.
PETA bitched about the whaling part, even though they're not real whales.
Well, that's because people bitch about everything. This is the games industry. This is how it works.
And also, I did say PETA.
Again, people in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Unity was the one that took place during the French Revolution, and when it came out, people's faces were missing from the character models. So it was just like a skull and weird, scary eyes.
So
but like in a very intense love scene.
So it was like
what the fuck?
It was like Rorschach from The Watchmen.
No,
like you saw inside their faces, like the skin model.
So it's like all you saw was eyes, mouth,
and like the muscles.
It looked like what would happen if you saw a skull, but instead of the skull, they took the skull out and just put the body parts that were missing in the skull.
Yeah, it was messed up.
Oh my god!
And Syndicate wasn't much better. It was the one that took place during the Industrial Revolution, but it was after that one they stopped making Assassin's Creed.
They took
every
a break,
year,
came
and that's
back.
why the last two they've been like 2
Odyssey and what else?
The third one,
Origin.
I'm hoping the third one's either in Japan or it's Vikings. That's the one of the two.
That's the two that they're going back and forth. Like
which I'm either way.
If they do Japan, I'll buy that game because Japanese mythology.
Oh, for sure, just
awesome.
for the beauty of that and Vikings, just for the sheer visceralness of that story too. Like, there's an anime that I'm watching right now called Vinland Saga that's done by the Attack on Titan guys.
I love Attack on Titan.
And I hate Attack on Titan.
What?
Really?
I fucking love this anime.
How did you
Vinland
hate?
Saga is
I know
so good.
a lot of...
Oh, you didn't like it because of the gore.
The gore and just... I didn't like the plot and I didn't like the monsters. It just wasn't my thing.
They were smiling. But creepily.
I may sound sadistic, but I love graphic violence.
Yeah, that sounds sadistic.
I like graphic violence when it's more in the fun aspect. Like Hellsing is where my level more like Hellsing and...
What if you...
Shit.
What about blowing up zombie heads in like Resident
that's fine.
Evil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's completely fine.
Those people need to be put down.
Either Hellsing or Drifters, which is also made by the same guys as Hellsing, and that takes like historical figures and makes them into like... It's almost like an interdimensional anime, so you have people from the samurai era.
Van Helsing?
No, the Hellsing anime? Not really. It's more like just it's a standard like vampire, like gore-fast, happy
Andrew
comedy.
Lincoln.
Okay, so definitely sounds like it's based off of it. It's probably inspired by Van Helsing, it seems like.
Drifters is like taking people from like the Sengoku period in like samurai history and then throwing like Billy the Kid in there somehow. It's fucking fun. It's so silly.
League of Extraordinary
kind of, yeah. They have
that thing had so much potential.
Nobunaga in that anime is so fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's like this like grin, like almost like Joker wide grin, like insane but like badass motherfucker. It's such a good anime. I gotta go watch that again. I was hoping they do a second season and I've heard nothing about it. But anyways, going all the way back because we got way off topic. Shocking, there goes the bingo card again.
This is true.
I finally have gotten to a point now where I think I've got a sense of where I am and what I want to do. So now I've actually stopped
Hamilton, Ontario.
Yes, I'm not taking that literally. I at least know now, like, okay, these are the kind of weapons I usually like using. This is the powers that, like, I've got my skill set now and I'm just waiting to upgrade them all. And now because of that, I don't need the sense to just go randomly from place to place and figuring shit out. Now I'm actually concentrating on
are you talking about Odyssey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I went back.
What's your favorite weapon in the game?
It's
Like
either,
style of weapon.
It's usually swords, but I do like a good old javelin. Like I had a trident at one point, and I was adoring using the trident.
That was my same setup. Swords.
I was
and,
very
a spear.
disappointed though because I was trying to have a brick moment, but I couldn't have horses, a man on fire, and stabbing a guy with a trident at the same time.
So,
it was very difficult to put.
Well,
together.
trident seems like it'd be fun, but difficult to use.
Tridents? No, not really.
They're just like spears in the game.
Are they like really wide, or are they more like?
No, they're
narrow?
more long.
It's
more
basically like a spear class.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense then. Because it was like Aquaman's trying that thing. Looks like it could take some practice to use.
What level are you at?
36, 37, I think. You're just looking at me being like, you should be like nearly done the game.
I finished everything, including all the DLC, 130 hours in, and I was like level 70.
Yeah.
And you're like more than halfway there, but you're actually like 8 minutes into the game. You did every side quest
and
before
I'm nearly
the story.
50 hours of playthrough.
Holy
This
crap.
is how I play video games.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you, man. I'm there with you. I did it at points, but it was definitely after Athens.
So anyways, we are over 20 minutes in, so I think we should finally step away from the present and take a bit into the future. So there's a lot to go through. No, that's technically the past. And we already did that.
Yeah, you're right.
We're eventually going to get copyright strikes just on your singing.
You think it's that good that they'll notice?
No, it's just that they're that petty.
No. Here's the thing. If it gets into the news about our podcast,
That is true. It's no such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly.
So you know what they're...
Especially, what are they going to take from us? Our
Well,
ad revenue?
Here's the thing.
This is a $3,000 laptop, I'll have you know. They better not fucking take it.
Okay, listen.
They can't
I will.
see it.
My mom used to tell me, life is like a box of chocolates. It's sweet.
Wow.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
I was going to say, life's like a box of chocolates. I only get the shitty coffee ones.
Oh, I love
those.
coffee
Are so
ones.
good.
I can't stand
love
coffee,
those
so it doesn't apply to me. But anyways, so I figure the 1st
We're
thing...
a diverse group.
Yeah. And by diverse, I mean 2 white guys and 1 brown guy. So
We were gonna call ourselves the Reverse Oreo
At least I'm the
podcast.
We were not going to do that.
at least I'm the token bi guy. I'll take that.
Yeah, true.
So anyways, I figure the first thing that makes sense to start with when it comes to the future is clearly like the most prevalent one today, and that's virtual reality. So obviously, when we go way back, the Virtual Boy was like where it started.
Yeah.
Poorly, but it started.
Here's the thing: that system had a lot of potential, but it was released way too soon.
It was released in what, the 90s?
And you had to have it on a stand like these microphones
And
stick your face in it.
The battery was worse than the first generation of smartphones.
Yeah.
No,
That thing was
But I
stupid.
mean, you always have to take a really, 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 really bad first step to make a good second. So.
Yep. I mean, Nintendo never did. I don't remember them making another.
Well, no,
VR?
they did now. They have the cardboard VR.
Oh, great! Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those
Nintendo
fucking
Labo
Nintendo
VR.
Labo.
I don't understand
What a
those
great-
fucking things.
Look, if I had kids, I'm sure they'd love it. But as an adult, I don't care how much my kids would love it. If I had kids, I would not spend that much goddamn money on
No,
cardboard.
it's so expensive for cardboard. I'll make them a fucking robot monster, whatever the fuck.
It's either that,
I'll buy a
or,
fridge.
You know what?
either that,
You
or
can,
just throw a box in the middle of the room, put a cutout of a robot in there, be like, "There's your robot." I had a rock.
I got
Be
a
like,
bet.
go the fuck outside, kids. Take
I got
your
a
Switch
better
with
idea.
you.
I got a better idea. Our buddy KV Designs, he can make shit like that for us.
This is true. This is true.
But like VR, like after that, I mean, we had like the weird alternate reality and VR stuff that like you would see at arcades, where, like we talked about last podcast, the virtual reality fighting game where it was so laggy that it read your punches like 3 seconds later.
Yeah, it was very light.
You had the stuff that
They had that in Palladium back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Boom.
Yeah.
And 4 seconds later,
it was like this
boom.
big circle in the room, then you would stand there and it would punch, but it actually never did anything properly. And then it's still at the Hockey Hall of Fame today. There's the whole thing where you stand in front of the camera and it shoots pucks at you. You try to stop it.
I didn't know it was there.
No, but the thing is, it shoots like 5 pucks at you at a time. It's not like it shoots like 1 or 2. It's like
So you're saying you're not a good goalie and you can't stop?
Nope.
That's why I don't play goalie. Adam knows firsthand.
Yeah, he tried once and we said no, that's never happening again.
You couldn't stop 5 pucks. You can't do it.
Even with my glasses off, I did a better job than he did. So,
Adam, do me a favor, suck it.
you're not my type.
Oh.
So, anyways, so nowadays what we have is obviously the Oculus, we have the PSVR, which I actually think is the best bang for your buck today because
definitely.
they're really
Price-wise,
good
yeah.
games
Yeah.
and it's also comfortable from what I understand. I've never put one on, but I've heard they're actually
I never got a chance to try it out, but when we went to Fan Expo, they had the Iron Man game with the VR headset, which looked like it was. And unfortunately, you had to sign up to use it. It's not like you just stand in line and go.
Yeah. And even if you did, it would take you 4 hours to go.
Oh yeah, no, it would. But they it looked really awesome. Like you're actually like in the Iron Man suit. So it looked really fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get to that point. Like, I remember when my girlfriend was sitting down with me while I was playing Spider-Man, and as she was enjoying herself just web slinging, she didn't play the game at all. She just really loved just going nuts in the fucking city.
Oh yeah.
My first thought is, man, can you imagine how much fun and sickening that would probably be in VR? Just literally web swinging around the city.
I don't know how well web sling would work in VR.
Well, today, yeah, it'd be a little bit different, but like, say 20 years later, once we've kind of got a better way of dealing with that, and including motion sickness, how cool, like, I'm not saying it has to be amazing, but even just the idea of how cool that would be to just literally feel like you're actually like swinging, whether you're not holding like actual webs, that's different, but generally speaking, I mean, when you're in the Iron Man, so you're not shooting shit out of your palms, but you will probably have that feel of like you're flying.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I remember doing VR at, I went to the Blue Jays Winterfest, the Toronto Blue Jays, which is the baseball team here. And they had VR sets for a few different things, and I did two of them. One I did just a straight baseball home run derby thing. That was cool, but it felt like just a straight up motion sensor game. It felt like it was nothing different. It felt like the one that was interesting,
like the home run game on the iPad.
Yeah, sort of. But
that game's fun.
The one that was weird to me was the one that they did a CN Tower plank walk. So
I heard about
they would
that
have
thing.
like
I want to do that.
Like, so basically the size of this bench that I'm sitting on here, it would be like a wooden plank. They put the headset
about
on you. 14
inches.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Well, I'm not really caring too much about the length, but you would stand on it, and then you would slowly walk across it. And because you have the headset on, you have nothing to ascertain where the floor is. Even though I knew that there is not a massive drop below me, you still get the sense of, well, it's just high enough that if you are a little bit off, you feel like you're about to fall. Because again, it's like I would never play Resident Evil 7 in VR because I know that it's not a real game, but because I can't see my own living room when I'd play that game, it would still scare the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And in the same vein with the CN Tower thing, it's like as soon as I fell, because I made it all the way to the end, so I just jumped, you still, because of the sound coming through your ears, it still gives you almost that pseudo sense that it is real.
I was just wondering, can you actually fall?
Oh, that's how it ends.
I would turn on that game, step back, and immediately run and jump off the CN Tower.
The best part is there were some people that refused to do it. So they would get halfway, suddenly go back into the elevator, and then that'd be it.
In the VR elevator.
Yeah.
This reminds me of...
I was kind of like laughing at it because I'm thinking, like, I know some people can be afraid of heights, but like, you know, it's not real. Like, just
have you
and it plays the golden elevator
to be fair though, if they did a VR simulator and all it was like spiders and snakes crawling out, I get the fuck out.
No.
That VR headset is getting broke.
I'll do it.
So there's this. I don't know if you guys have ever been. It's this place in Niagara called Screamers.
Oh yeah,
it's a haunted house, and when you leave it, you're like it legitimately fucking scares you. So when you leave it, you're running out like a lunatic, and you're like you're hyperventilating a little, so it actually fucking scares you.
Oh yeah,
this reminds me of that.
That
experience of that.
There's a place in Stony Creek called Control V that I need to check out with you guys.
Yes,
because it's a VR place.
Oh nice.
So you literally like rent out some time, and then they'll give you a shit ton of games you can play with it.
Cool.
No, my one friend Shannon, she took her sons to it, and she said they enjoyed it.
Oh yeah,
she's not really a gamer, but like.
Well, I mean, for us, like it's even just the sense of watching each other like fail miserably at trying to shoot shit in VR.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, we'd be perfect shots because clearly playing all these video games has made us crack shots.
And
not that I've ever shooted a BB gun and missed the target 10 times in a row from pretty close.
Pretty sure I shot a BB gun once and I shot myself.
Here's the thing. Was it at Wonderland to win a prize?
No, it was like literally at a friend's backyard.
Okay, if it was at Wonderland to win a prize, I get it because they probably threw the game off.
Yeah. But like laser tag's a different story. Like laser tag, there's no recoil, there's no nothing, and you just fire a million shots because you have no ammo to reload.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might be able to aim better there, but that's also because there's nothing stopping you. Like there's no pain to worry about, there's no fear, there's no recoil, so your hands can be as solid as you want them to be, unless you just can't.
I haven't been to
shaking.
laser tag since I was literally 13 years old. I'm 36, everybody. Is there like a vibration impact, like feedback
little
now?
bit. But it's not like it only is when you take a hit. Like I think the last time I went was a couple years ago. We all went for my girlfriend's birthday. We all went to a place up on the mountain.
Nice.
And
Upper James?
yeah, that place. And it's still fun. Now the problem that time we went is that usually I don't worry about kids because kids are fun because you can just chase them around and it's a good old time anyway. The problem is when we went, a bunch of tryhards showed up and they wanted to prepare for a tournament.
Oh.
So we got fucking destroyed.
It's funny story is I was actually at laser tag last for my future brother-in-law's birthday party, his 30th birthday party. So this was only a couple years ago. We went in, started dominating until all of a sudden these like 8 fucking teenagers came in. They were like 13. I swear to God, they were doing call signs with their fucking hands.
Oh, you get the people that actually play like tournaments over there. Yeah,
they were
it's no
hardcore,
joke.
like the fist up and the 2 fingers going, and they like swarmed us and killed us. And I tried everything, and they destroyed me. And
yeah, like
they're inadequate as a man.
Did you try throwing the laser at their face?
I tried punching them in the face, and they said that's not allowed. And I was like, I don't know.
Did you
so
try
just kick them in the nuts instead?
Yeah.
Accidental.
Wait, did you say they said not allowed?
Yes, with quotes, air quotes.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. The code is more like guidelines.
Exactly.
But the other time I went was different. Like when I had the fun of it and not having to worry about people that were there and playing every weekend and like knowing the entire place. There was 2 levels to this area, and one of them is there's a big maze at the bottom, and then there's a smaller area up top that kind of looks down to both, but there is also spots around the corners. So I found right at the top, in the middle of that area, there's a wall. So I would hide behind one side, shoot people as they came that way. Realize nobody's coming that way, go to the other side, shoot them there. And then if it was quiet, I just look down and just be like, bam, bam, bam. I remember winning one game. You get 100 points a kill. I remember winning a round by more than 40 kills.
Wow.
That's
good.
Because just everybody was too busy like running around trying to figure where the fuck they were down in the maze. And I'm just standing there just picking anybody off. And the second anybody came upstairs, I hear them. So I just turn, pop them. They'd immediately go and run back because they realize, well, shit, I died.
Yeah.
So they need to go away. One of my friends managed to sneak up on me. This is my favorite story to ever tell in laser tag. So she snuck up behind me.
That's really specific. My favorite story to ever tell about laser tag.
Well, yeah, because I certainly don't have one in paintball. Paintball sucked the one time I went. One time the first time I ever got shot, it didn't explode and it just ricocheted off my rib cage.
Ooh.
And after that, I played 2 more rounds.
I got shot on the back of my hand, and my hand was numb for 2
I'm
months.
lucky I didn't get hit in the nuts, but I was damn close.
For me, I don't know what happened. Like, I got hit in my hand, I was okay, but when I got hit in my stomach, it just like felt like a slap to it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those motherfuckers hurt.
So this one of my girlfriend's friends, she rolls up behind me. I didn't hear her until I just kind of peeked. I'm like, oh, I saw her there. I'm like, okay, don't register. I'm like, all right, you take that side. I'm going to keep covering this side. She's like, all right. She's like half freaking out because this is her first time ever playing.
So
you let me finish the story. So she keeps going. I now realize, well, good. I don't really have to think about that side because everybody's going to run back. So I'm busy thinking here, taking pot shots at all the people running around the maze. As soon as she's like, turns around and runs, and just immediately turn back.
Oh.
Because I'm a douchebag.
Yes, you are. She could have knifed you. Call of Duty stuff.
We have laser. Well, there's a
laser knife.
There's a new technology. There's some laser knives. So Back to the Future.
And I think they're called lightsabers. Like, what the fuck, guys?
Well, speaking of lightsabers,
copyrights.
Beat Saber.
Yeah.
I think that's about the first game that I've seen that I think really nails down the aesthetic today.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen a lot of games out there that have come back and forth, people trying to figure out how to make things good. Like I said, PSVR has found a good middle ground that it's not trying to be over the top with movement so much as it wants you to be able to see everything.
Well, what about the PlayStation Move?
It's still dodgy. It really depends.
It is.
Yeah. Like any motion control in a VR right now is still not the greatest.
That's why I think, like, I know the Wii was a poor system technologically, but I feel it's definitely was the first major step within interactive gaming like that.
Absolutely. Like
definitely not my favorite.
It got the conversation going. Like, I could still play Wii Sports today. I
think that's the only one I would still play today. Well, except for the Galaxy games.
Oh no, that's what I was saying with when we were talking about Mario Maker making levels. How much acid or something you have to be on to make levels for Mario Galaxy type games?
A lot.
Exactly.
But I feel that with a lot of games, like everybody tried to make a first person shooter because that's what you do. The problem is when you don't have the frame rate down pat and you don't have the graphics being really good, it's kind of hard to get that suspension of disbelief that it's real.
I think there's that Super Hot game.
Super Hot is an exception. Like, it works pretty well, so I think Super Hot and Beat Saber are probably your two best examples of VR right
there. They didn't really go for graphics. It was just like
it was meant to be like
polygon
over
people.
The only thing is with VR games, they have to be first person because you're looking through your vision, your line of sight.
Yeah.
So to do it as a third person,
not talking third person.
You're like almost like dance puppet dance.
No, what I mean though is like when everybody tried to do a shooter as being their first thing because you figure, well, that's the easiest one to be first person. But the problem is it's really hard to make those games plausible to people because they're not real and because it's so blatantly not real. Like, sure, when we played GoldenEye back in the day, that was as real as it got for us. But today, you look at what Modern Warfare is. Modern Warfare looks so interesting now because it almost looks like Modern Warfare is being designed to be a movie in the single-player campaign, which is so interesting.
With Modern Warfare, like, I haven't really looked too much into it. Did they remake the entire game from ground up or something?
No, it's not a remake of the original. It's just continuing on. It's like what a lot of games do when like they haven't put out a version in a while, so they just default the numbers back to 1.
They make it seem like they're rebooting it.
It's a reboot in a way, but it's not. Like, it's still carries over. Like Captain Price is in that game, so I think it's still a continuation.
So is it like it's a soft reboot, but it's essentially Modern Warfare 4?
It's really
rebooted name, sequel still in game.
Okay, so it's actually I thought it was like a remake of Modern Warfare.
No,
from
they already did the remaster of it.
Yeah, they already did that remaster. They don't need to go back to that same game again.
The way I explain it to people, it's almost like what WWE does with WrestleMania. They don't number it anymore because Vince doesn't want people to think they're old because they're in like their 30s now. Yeah. And like UFC is like at what, 200 now?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not more.
I'm sure the majority of wrestling fans here agree with me. Fuck you, Vince.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other podcast.
That's Adam's solo podcast.
Modern Warfare is the same thing where I think they just wanted to... It's the hip thing to do now in marketing where you just make it go back to 1 and people are like, oh, it's brand new.
It's brand new. They're starting again.
So
now,
it's
actually,
like
in terms of the way it looks, it does look like they've made
cool.
changes.
I can't lie.
So it's like the Brian McKnight song, Back at 1.
I don't know what that is. Oh, that song. Never mind.
I was about to say, back at 1.
I realized because I grew up a country boy, so I heard the Mark Wills country version of that before I ever heard the original. Because when I up until 13, the only thing that ever got played in my house was country. Yeah.
My house
was when I was working at Tim Hortons, when I took a year off college, I was 20, 21 in that age period. There was 2 radio stations that worked. One, a classic rock station, which I didn't mind because it would have stuff like the Beatles, and I actually enjoyed the Beatles. The other one was country.
Oh, I was about to say, I thought it was going to be top 40 and just be like the same 5 songs.
No.
That's what they do now.
No, it was
40, it was the same 5.
It was country. It was so fucking painful to listen to. Like, it's a shitty job to begin with, working at a coffee shop when you're with a bunch of teenagers.
Well, yeah, if you don't like country music, it's not a middle ground. You don't tolerate country music. No, you either love it or you fucking can't stand it.
So a few years ago, I did I worked at a cider festival, and it was a country music cider festival. I felt like I was gonna get chased with pitchforks there, and they were like, the music was so painful. I would have willingly pierced my ears just to stop listening to it. But then they started doing covers of normal songs, like well, I Hate Guns N' Roses. Chris knows why I hate Guns N' Roses. Best Buy back in the day.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So they did country remakes of Welcome to the Jungle, which was tolerable but still painful because I fucking hate Guns N' Roses. And someone did our baseball team is called Hotline Swing, so I almost called someone did a country version of Hotline Bling, and I was like, I don't like Drake either, but this is tolerable. But oh my god, country music is just, yeah, you're right, Adam. It's either you love it or you hate it, and unfortunately, the majority of us, we hate it.
Hey Vish, you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. So, how the hell did we even get to that point?
I don't know. Something about the future.
We were talking about calling. Yeah, that's right. Because we were talking about first-person shooters. How like that was where it started.
Beat Saber.
I actually don't even remember how we got here.
Thankfully, my memory is good for about 5 to 10 minutes in the past. So, the way that I've looked at VR today, and this is the reason why I've been tempted to buy a PSVR because I really wanted to play Borderlands in VR, but then my brain kicked in and said, "You're going to pay $500 just to play one game."
Yeah.
And then I went, "You're right. I should buy 2 games now.
Oh,
But,
yes, you should.
But the issue that I have now is that it's like how, thankfully, when I was growing up, I didn't buy the Kinect. My parents bought it for us.
Oh, the Kinect.
And the Kinect, as cool as Star Wars Dance probably was,
I'm Han Solo.
realistically
I'm riding
speaking,
solo.
the early stages of anything are not the greatest. Now, like I said, you have games like Super Hot VR and Beat Saber that do work, but I will never touch a VR headset, at least put my money forward to touch one, until we're like, at least in an age where I feel like we've perfected it, or not necessarily perfected,
I think
but at least
you
make
need to
good
wait till
improvements.
about Generation 3.
Oh, I think I'm waiting till at least 10 years. That's what I figure. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be in my 40s probably by the time the VR is.
Yeah,
it's like palpable.
Dude, you're in your early 30s. I'm in my.
I know.
I'll be in my late 30s.
I'll be in our 40s by the time it happens.
I will be in my late 30s in 3 months.
And don't worry, by the time we're all dead, all the actual good shit will come out. Like, I guess it fits into like the broad scope of things, but like my be all end all future would be playing a Final Fantasy game in full VR and full motion. Because you go back to like all the things that we've seen now. We have VR. Motion control is on the up and up. You do have those circular like steppers that you like step on, but it keeps you in place. So I'm imagining like one crazy day, you have the floor mat that you step on, and it almost like has a roller, so it makes it feel like you're moving. Mm-hmm. You're like fully like what's the word I'm looking for? Like strapped, like not strapped, but like you're definitely locked into place. You're not going to like fall over.
Yep, absolutely.
You'll have full motion controls, like so you have like. Because there's already people making stuff now where it's not just like a thing you hold, like actual gloves with sensors that will actually read your finger movements, which are already in existence, and it's just a matter of them making it cheap.
Are you talking about Minority Report type, where it'd be like tossing screens aside like that?
I'm looking straight up like Power Glove, but actually like functional and actually good.
The Power Glove was ahead of its time. I think we got to bring it back.
Chris, go in a corner and think about what you just said. Right now.
Well, no, if they made the Power Glove properly today, you probably could get something out of it. It would just cost you $1,000 right now.
I just don't know why they didn't make it work with just like punch out. Like just make it a punching thing.
Chris, it was 1986.
Have
it
you
was
played
2 years before
V-Boxing?
Adam was fucking
is
born.
Fucking stupid to try to play.
But in Punch Out, it was press A to punch. So just every time you move your fist forward, you're pressing A, and that's its only function.
But then it probably wouldn't read half the shit. So,
yeah,
so all of a sudden you'd be like, especially in a game like Punch Out where everything has to be so frame perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, if there was any bit of latency in that glove, you're fucked.
I'm sure there is latency in that glove. There's got to be. I mean, it was in the Wizard though.
But full scope. You have the rollers so you can feel like you're moving. You're all strapped in so you don't have the sense of like you're falling. You have the sensors so everything even to the point that you could actually like feel things, which is something they're also working on, and then you have the full vision.
I think you're living in an awesome future for us
that we won't be alive for.
I think,
or at least
we'll be
too old to be able to actually use it without breaking our hip.
We have to keep working out now so we can game in the future.
I think what's going to happen at that point, there's going to be an alien invasion. We actually have to fight a fucking war.
You know that we're actually the aliens playing ourselves in a video game, right?
Dun dun dun.
I mean, serious. That's kind of what I hope, is that I'll finally, like, when I die, I'll wake up and it'll just be me sitting in like my bedroom, and all of a sudden you're, hey, the meatloaf's ready, and be like, meatloaf, and I'll go downstairs.
Where's the fucking meatloaf?
And then I'll finally go on the internet, see the cheat code to actually have fucking money in the game, and I'll redo the game and start over and not be fucking
So
poor.
you don't think we're living in the Truman Show? You think we're living in The Sims?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only difference is, whoever's playing me is at least being nice and not taking the door away from me.
Yeah, whoever's playing me is playing...
I've never played Sims, but I know 2 quotes. Come on, Slayon.
And what did you say about my mother?
What did you like to know?
Not particularly. But
can I just off topic? I just want to say one hilarious.
Off topic on this podcast?
Yes.
Oh wait, the bingo card's been already finished.
Yeah.
I just want to say one hilarious Yo Mama joke. So this guy, he was talking to it was a stand-up comedian. He was like talking about how his mom was like, tell me Yo Mama joke. He's like, I don't want to. My mom's like, no, tell me one. Like, so he tells her a Yo Mama so fat joke. He's like, not bad. This is honestly one of the best Yo Mama jokes you'll ever hear. But then she tells him, yeah, well, listen to this. Your mama's so nasty. She used to suck your daddy's dick and then kiss you goodnight.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's gross.
But you know, it's almost like you go to the old dad joke, which is like dads are like boomerangs. I hope
They come back.
But anyway, going all the way back to like my crazy vision, since Vishal bingo card filled out
Vishal.exe
5 times
has
over.
failed.
No, it's like that meme, failed successfully. That's what his system is.
Boom.
But
South 5.
can you imagine, like, obviously we got a good sense of Final Fantasy 15 having its first real open world.
Yep.
Can you imagine that kind of game, but being able to be fully autonomous yourself in it?
That'd be pretty cool.
Because
but what would it be like when you'd press the one button and you would just teleport or warp right
now,
at the end?
now, what I would hope they would do, because again, like, combat is really difficult because if you don't get a sense of damage, you're not going to feel like you're actually there. So the issue that I would also take is that I think games like that would be better fit to be for movement, and then if there was battle, it would just have you like in an overseer sort of role watching. Because I can't imagine like going out and slashing everything unless it was in place.
Yeah,
because if everything was fully mobile, it would be so I would miss every fucking time.
I noticed one fault in doing games like that is that there's certain weapons, like with a game like I'm thinking of a game like Ninja Gaiden, like the one that was for PS3.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. This is a gaming podcast. Do you think we don't know?
What's a ninja?
It's not like the people that were going Terry Bogard. Who the hell's Terry Bogard?
Go into a corner right now again.
I keep going to this corner
because you deserve to be.
But anyways,
so with what I was remembering is as weapons get more powerful in games, they get heavier and a little more difficult to maneuver.
Think, like, swing speed is going to be an issue, so it would feel like you would have to be a set character with a set weapon, and that's it.
Yeah.
Just give you a plain old long sword.
I have an idea.
Because when we've gone to EGLX and Con Bravo and even Comic-Con and Fan Expo, they have replicas of Cloud's what's it called?
The Buster Sword.
Buster Sword.
Yes. And
they're a hell of a lot lighter than they would be in real life.
Yeah, so, and even then when they're lighter...
That man fucking lifts.
Yeah.
And yet he's so skinny.
No, you mean sexy.
They're very...
Those triangles,
it's
man.
The hair. The triangle arm. It was his forearm, too. It wasn't his biceps. It was his fucked up
forearm. He could poke your eye out with those elbows.
So...
Can you imagine, like, him just being like, and you're like, I'm bleeding.
I'm dying.
So with these weapons, like especially with the Buster Sword, it's horribly imbalanced. Like to hold it, like your arm is shaking because it's so imbalanced. Oh
yeah, they would straight up have to be like you're either getting daggers or like a katana at most.
Yeah, so that's
VR. Maybe it's just a super light Buster Sword.
That's one fault.
Sephiroth's sword's only 2 pounds.
That's one fault I am seeing with gaming like that.
I mean, if you had like a handle that people could hold, you could actually have it weight.
Yeah.
No, it's not just that. Like if
remember,
you can have
we could be potentially talking 100 years down the fucking road.
You're gonna have it like where the vibration is significantly stronger. Where like if you're like lifting it, like you're like it's vibrating, but it's like to a point like you can't really hold it properly with your hand.
I mean, I think realistically they would never go that far unless like we're talking about perfected technology where they can change the weight at a moment's notice. But make it also that it would be safe, because that's the other issue. Safety is such a huge thing. So like before we get to your idea, when it comes to all these things, I think with a game like a Final Fantasy or anything that's like a fantasy game, shooters, you can just do whatever you want. You can just have a bit of recoil and whatever like light gun sort of attachment you've made for the VR. But when it comes to sword swinging, anything like that, I don't think you can do that kind of combat without it getting really difficult to not miss. Because if you can't swing the sword very well, it doesn't really matter. Like, how do they read how well you're shot? Like, you shoot a gun, as long as it hits the guy, the damage is going to end up being the same, depending on where you hit him.
Absolutely.
But with a sword, if you ain't swinging that fast, you're not cutting his arm off. You might put a little bit of a scrape on him.
Yeah. I think what we do... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So just to finish, like I think, like I said, with a Final Fantasy game, it would have to be either gun-related, which Final Fantasy hasn't fully developed into ever, and I kind of hope they never do.
Fun fact. Stormbreaker and Infinity Wars.
How did this have to do with anything with what I was just saying?
You'll see. Stormbreaker and Infinity Wars, before they decided on an axe, they were considering making it a gun.
That actually would have been kind of dumb. Because it has nothing to do with Norse mythology.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But now you see why I said it.
With Final Fantasy, like, it's going to be sword-based, so the problem with games like that is you would have to make sure that there's an easy way to make contact. And if you can't, why I figure, like, make the open world how you move, but when it comes to battle, like, flip you back into an overseer position like you're playing an old Final Fantasy game again. Anyways,
what I'm thinking for the battle part they're having a problem with, yeah, everybody should have just like a regular sword, whatever it is, something that's
you could do
feasible.
an ATB system and
you do ATB, but it's first person, and you actually have your ATB above you.
Can I ask you?
You can't actually do anything until your ATB is full.
You'd be
so you're
so
stuck there,
stressed.
stressed out, because there's all these monsters right in front of you, and you're going to attack them. You see their ATBs going. You're like, holy fuck, holy fuck.
What does ATB stand for?
ATB, active time battle. So it's that bar that fills up when it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm wondering one thing. With this idea that you have, do you think going for it, if Final Fantasy was to make VR games, should they only be melee weapons like swords and not use modernized weapons like guns?
I think most Final Fantasy should be swords because I just prefer
probably should be weapon-based because I think the second that you turn
melee weapon
guns,
or...
Yeah, melee weapons in general.
Yeah, melee weapons.
Because as soon as you turn to guns, like, there have been people that have done it, like Laguna in Final Fantasy VIII does. Squall has a gun blade as well.
Barrett has a gun arm.
Yeah, so there are people that do, but it's not the be-all, end-all.
Yeah.
And I think in a VR sense, if you have a Final Fantasy game but it's with guns, it's just another game.
Yeah, it's not a Final Fantasy.
That's the other thing too. I think that's why a lot of people are very stingy if Final Fantasy ever wanted to be a fully modern game because they'd be like, but then you're just another game.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy 15 was able to blend a bit of modern day, like with cars and things of that nature, with more of a modern build of the cities.
Yeah.
With still the fantasy elements, like your monsters that you still have, your summons, your swords, like all that was still there in the magic.
Yeah.
So they found a way to blend it together.
Magic would be kind of cool because it'd be like a different kind of gun.
Oh yeah, you would. Well, yeah, but you would create spells, and all you would do is just Hadouken every time.
Yeah. Magic missile.
And then you run out, and then you run out of MP, and then you'd be like,
you gotta watch that video. It's
fucking
hilarious.
I
just think it'd be really cool with the ATB thing. Because you look to your left and your right, your other two, like, I don't know, I guess computer-controlled characters are next to you. Or maybe your friends. Maybe you're playing multiplayer, and one of you's like a fucking little Vivi, like black mage. One of you a little white mage just to heal.
Oh, I'm clearly.
You look ahead of you. There's just behemoths and the Marlboros and all these giant towering things, and it's just you're waiting your turn, and it will just be so stressful because it's like I'm going to fucking die. It's going to happen. And then you run, and the better you swing, and the more accurate you actually do it, that's when you get like a crit or that kind of shit.
So fun thing. If you could envision yourself as a Final Fantasy character, who would you be?
Oh fuck, who would I be? I've always liked Edgar from Final Fantasy VI.
So you just want to be a rich playboy billionaire philanthropist?
I want to be Iron Man in the Final Fantasy universe. His castle could go underground and travel. That's amazing.
For the record, peeps, I'm not really big into Final Fantasy.
You're not into JRPGs, really.
I agree with Chris. That's who I would be.
Nice. I have no idea.
I like just like Zoolander. I'm ridiculously good looking.
We'll debate that later.
We'll put it online.
To the war room.
So, anyways, we're nearing an hour. So it was your turn to come up with a question for the end of the show. So, what did you have for us this week?
Well, speaking of our future, outlook today.
It's not like I made up this show based on this question.
I figured we could go around and figure out.
The bingo card is filled out. You don't have to do this anymore.
I am hoping they try to sue us so we can get notoriety.
They won't.
I don't even know what you're singing.
The Back to the Future theme?
Okay.
Interestingly enough, on Rocksmith, they put it a 5-pack of like movie and TV themes. So like it's like somebody who did a cover of the Back to the Future theme. There's the Batman TV theme.
The TV
really
theme.
Fucking cool.
Ooh.
Oh, that's one of the greatest theme songs ever.
Those are the two that I enjoy playing. The other ones are kind of but those are the two that they're really fucking fun. But anyways, what was your question?
I was thinking we could go around and point out our most anticipated game that's coming out at some point in the future. One it's got to be a game that's already been like set, not like what you dream a game. Like
I have that, and
I'll have to add an addendum because I don't think Cyberpunk's allowed because then everybody's just gonna say that.
Yeah, everybody's gonna say.
I know. You're not gonna be surprised with my
Not including Cyberpunk.
title.
That's already our number one. What's your number two?
I have a number one, and it's not Cyberpunk.
All right, Vish. Then
that's
you go.
because you don't really like open world games that much, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
For me.
Well, here's the thing. Depending on the game, like Arkham Knight, I absolutely loved.
Yeah, but you're also like the biggest Batman guy, so it's kind of easy for you to get into an open world game where like.
Well, I'm like here's the thing. For you're the anime nerd. Chris is the gamer nerd. I'm the superhero nerd.
We're all gamer nerds.
And superhero nerds.
Agreed. But like if
we're multi-platform
again,
nerds.
we're so diverse.
I get that, but like if there was like one forte that we specifically specify, specifically niche in, you would be anime, Chris would be gaming, and I would be superheroes.
Fuck that, I'm anime and pro wrestling.
I'll give you that.
Fair enough.
You can have that title.
So
your championship belt, if you will.
So
Shit, that's what I need to make myself a weeboo belt.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I think you should contact KV Designs. Kyle, you listening?
Oh, I already have people that I know about actually making legit championship belts.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So the game I'm really looking forward to is The Last of Us 2.
Did you see the State of Play trailer that came out yesterday?
I'm honestly.
I haven't seen all of it.
Here's the thing.
Well, just so you know, they put out a trailer yesterday.
I'm a movie trailer whore, but I try to avoid gaming trailers because I don't want to see too much of the game itself.
Except Death Stranding, because what the fuck is that game?
I haven't seen a single trailer.
That's kind of strange, though. Like, if you are a big movie trailer guy, why would you not want to watch game trailers for that reason? Because that's exactly what movie trailers are.
Yes,
Granted, Marvel has a tendency of putting a lot of shit that never goes in the movie.
Yeah, because, okay, here's the thing. I remember during the Super Bowl, which was one of the worst Super Bowls ever. Literally,
has there been a good Super Bowl for a while?
No, the Super Bowl...
The last one that I remember really enjoying was the Giants-Patriots one. And I'm not even a football guy.
2011, 2007.
Yeah, that's how long ago that is.
Okay,
yeah,
so...
That's how far I'm dating myself.
You're dating yourself?
No, that's him. We did that last week.
So,
That's my joke.
I know, that's why I said it.
So,
I was turning it around on you.
For example, the Super Bowl of... I know I'm going off topic.
Off topic with football, I think I've tried to hedge you off for the past every podcast.
This is definitely going to lead into The Last of Us 2.
So bingo card again.
I'm a Cowboys fan, for the record.
And again, no one cares.
We're 3-0. Fuck yeah. You know what? I won't even... Yeah, my brother-in-law is a Patriots fan, so... I also
is he a Patriots fan, or is he just a fan of the team that wins?
No, he's a Tom Brady fan.
Oh, he's just trying to piss you off.
In all fairness, Tom Brady is the GOAT.
Is he a Patriots fan the way that my brother as a kid used to be an Avalanche fan?
Avalanche from Final Fantasy VII?
Yes.
Okay, so...
But anyways, what were you talking about the trailers before we get too off topic here?
So, I don't really watch a lot of game trailers, but I didn't even watch anything about The Last of Us 2 because I know, as Adam would say, his brother was talking to us on Facebook about it, but I didn't watch anything because I don't want to... I like to... Gaming, I think, is an experience. Yeah. So I don't want to ruin the experience for myself one way or another. So when The Last of Us, there was an... I wanted to mention this. There was an article that they were talking about actors and actresses who turned TV into art. So some of the people there are Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And Troy from... Donald Glover for Community. And Kelly MacDonald for Boardwalk Empire. And Archie Panjabi for The Good Life. The Good Wife, not Life. So with those... when I watch them, they actually do turn television into an art form because they're not just like playing some douchey, like stupid character. They actually are putting an effort into their acting format and making it like, hey, this is actually really awesome. So what I would say is that with the art form that they're looking at is that with The Last of Us, it turned video games into an art form. More than Mario, more than Zelda, more than even like any Resident Evil game, more than Final Fantasy, The Last of Us is, I would say, a work of art, not a video game, because it is fucking beautiful.
Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Yeah, maybe why.
Like
because
I cannot stand Naughty Dog games. Both Uncharted and Last of Us have not.
Wait, what about Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, that's
not the same thing as Uncharted and Last of Us. Like those are the kind of games that you're like the games that you're talking about that are like.
Wait, did you like the new Tomb Raider then?
Not really.
No, Adam prefers the old,
well, because
vintage
the
Tomb Raider.
That's because when you chest bump her, shit cuts you.
Boom. So I would say The Last of Us is a work of art. The gameplay itself is very generic wise. The story and the artwork in it is fucking incredible. And
maybe
it's like an experience in a movie.
Yeah.
More than a game.
So no, that was
maybe that's really my issue with that series as a whole, is that those games were designed to be these movie-like stories, but the problem was the gameplay was so shallow early on that it was impossible to connect.
No, I will agree with you, and I will not.
I'd agree with that.
A movie you can attach to characters because all you're seeing is a movie. With a game, it's really hard to attach to anything if you're not enjoying the game. Because like a story can be as good as it wants to be, but if the game is so boring to you that you can't get yourself to play through it, how are you going to experience the rest of the story?
No, I get it, but for me,
the people
I
who
didn't
push through it. Congrats to them, but like those games are just
okay.
fucking
But let me ask you one thing: do you not like stealth games?
Stuff what?
Stealth games.
Stealth? No, stealth's not the issue. I'm playing Assassin's Creed.
Fair enough.
Very much so.
But The Last of Us, for me, I felt like it was a video game, not as a video game, but as an art form.
It was like Uncharted. I like what they took.
Exactly. No,
And I understand why people
I like Uncharted significantly better because, like you said, Uncharted is significantally more fun.
Yeah.
It's
The
a
story
much.
I
is
still
more an
don't
adventure.
enjoy Uncharted as much,
But
as
I,
people do, but at least I can enjoy parts of it. Last of Us, like I'll quickly make this point.
Go ahead.
Last of Us, I had a problem with the beginning of the entire thing, and this is, I want to say spoilers, but again, this game's been out for a number of years now, so you've had time.
FYI, we're not live streaming anymore right now.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
oh well.
We're on yours, but not on mine.
Yeah. The beginning of the game has you starting off as Joel and his daughter as they're escaping the initial outbreak of because I've never played through the entire game, whatever was going on there.
Mm-hmm.
She gets killed by a stray bullet during a gunfight and ends up, dying in his arms. And I said this to a few other people. I've said it to you guys before too, and I'm saying this on the podcast now. That moment does not work that early in the game, in my opinion. It was 15 minutes in. That would have worked if you played, like, if she was an Ellie spot for 5 hours and then gets killed, it would mean something. In the same vein that, like, as much as I hate Aerith in Final Fantasy VII, it still feels heavy to a lot of people, a lot of part just because she was your healer that entire time. So there is a connection. There are a lot of characters, like, again, spoiling another game, in Gears of War 3, I want to say, Dom dies. And Dom's been with you for 3 games, has had a whole arc of him searching for his wife, finding out she was a shallow husk from the war.
Sorry, which game is this?
Gears of War.
Oh, okay.
So he has this journey. Obviously, it's a bleak fucking world that aliens have gone and just fucked everything up. He's looking for his wife, has been unable to find her for so long, finds her, she's basically a dead husk. Like, she's basically a vegetable at that point because she's been enslaved and treated so fucking poorly. It's like a Holocaust in there. So she dies. So his last thing to go forward is gone. And then by the time the third game rolls around, somebody needs to get the guys out of danger or else they're all dead, so he makes that sacrifice. And that's 3 full games of just that heavy shit. There's another... The Mass Effect series does this. 3 games. There's a character... Actually, no, he starts in the second game, but he's this really quirky, cool scientist and is so easy to love. Impossible not to love unless you just don't like nice things. And in the third game, if you make certain choices, he dies, and his scene is so drawn out, and he does the same thing that you really started to love him for. He just starts singing the song, almost like the guy who sings the periodic table. He sings a song similar, kind of like that, but it's his speech. And it's so painful if you've been going through that game. So going all the way back to Last of Us, how am I supposed to feel any pain for Joel when his daughter is someone that I've literally seen for 5 minutes, have not had time to really communicate with, to endear, to end up having some sort of a connection with? She just is gone. And I know what it's supposed to do, but for me personally, I'm not. You have to work a little bit harder to get my emotions up.
I think for yourself is
I'm a heartless piece of shit. Yes, I know.
Not just that. for yourself, I feel like you need to take time to actually make an attachment, whether an emotional attachment to anything.
You can't just get me crying over 5 minutes.
Yeah, because it's...
And anybody who did, honestly, like, I'm like, man, like,
because
it must be really easy to make you cry.
The biggest tragedy for anyone is their child dies before they do.
Yes, but it was only my child for 5 minutes.
Yes, I get that, but...
And it's also actually not my child, so to...
Yeah,
I guess also not being a parent, it also really doesn't give that connection either.
No,
so
I get what you're saying, but I feel like the situation is that With you take a lot of time to get attached to somebody.
Which I feel like should be the case. Like, that's the thing with that specific situation. And I'm like, how is
like,
people treating it as a big moment?
Don't get me wrong. Like,
it's an intro.
I thought the introduction with
if that was the start of Last of Us Part 2 and that was Ellie dying, oh fuck.
Oh no! Like you question your will to live.
Yeah.
It's like with it's like, for example, I would say that when Joel's daughter died, that was a tragic moment. But what was more soul crushing, and I don't know if you guys have played this, when you thought Aggro died in Shadow of Colossus.
Oh
yeah.
Aggro.
Yeah.
Because again, long journey.
Yeah,
because
he was the only other character in the game.
When the horse and for example, when Setsuko died in the Grave of the Fireflies. Like
I love how he's never watched the movie and he knows enough.
I've read the synopsis and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and you literally, like, when Setsuko dies and when Aggro you thought died, hashtag spoiler alert, the game came out in 2007, so it doesn't count. You like question your will to live after that.
Yeah.
So when his daughter died, it was more of like showing. This is why he's a heartless motherfucker. This is why he just doesn't give a shit about any.
I felt like they would have been smarter to do that in a flashback rather than an intro, though. Because at least you would have gotten the sense of him being a little bit colder to start with. And then maybe an hour or two in the game, you find out why.
So it's
that probably would have worked better, because at least you had an idea of why the guy was
being like this. If I may ask, so you think it would have worked better that they did clips of it as the game went along?
No, I mean in this. Well, yeah, they could have done that too, where they do little flashbacks here and there. There's like the early outbreak, but most importantly, like, after a couple of hours of getting the sense of this guy's a bit of a dick, like a bit of a shit, like a cold-blooded motherfucker kind of guy in this. I mean, you kind of have to be in a scenario like that.
Yeah.
But at least taking the time to get to know him first before finding out why he's like that, and it probably would have made it more painful too, because now you'd be like, oh, that's why. Whereas at the beginning of the game, it's just like it comes out, like, for me, it came out of left field.
Yeah.
Because it's so quick that you don't really have time to settle in.
I don't know. I kind of saw it coming.
If you're going to tell me 15 minutes is saw it coming's different. But, like, in the terms of, in a time of a game, like, you don't have enough time to even settle down into the story yet. You're still getting over the fact that this outbreak is a thing. You haven't even seen the, whatever they call the zombified people.
I've never actually played this game.
The clickers. The clickers are
clickers. And
you haven't even seen them yet.
It's incredible.
No, it's just I got rid of my
again, the gameplay itself is quite, unfortunately I would say it's quite generic, but the story is incredible.
Is it an Uncharted-style gameplay?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I can get behind
with
that.
a lot more like emphasis on the stealth and horror.
I will
lend you. Be very careful at dodging people.
Dude, I will lend you my PS3 with the game so you can play it.
But anyways, we started.
You can
once
finish
I
it
get through some other games.
You can finish it in a weekend.
I'm trying to finish a lot of games.
Anyways, we can talk more about this at the bar. So let's get the other two games out of the way here, because we're already over an hour here. So
why don't you go?
For me, I mean, it's Cyberpunk, but at this point, it's a split. There's Watch Dogs Legion, which I'm looking forward to, but I think overall, I'm really looking forward to Persona 5 Royal, which is not just a because a lot of people mistake it when that comes. It's like, oh, it's an expansion. No, it's not an expansion. It's literally remaking the entire game, changing little bits of story here and there, adding stuff into it. Like, when Persona does a redo, like Persona 4 Golden, for example. Golden has some slight changes in the story. It's not too big. But what they do is they add also one big new figure in there to really change how the entire thing is going. They usually add a couple more events as well. They make the game go a little bit longer too, so you get to enjoy a little bit extra. Persona 5 Royal is no different, and in fact, it seems they've added a much bigger character.
I'm not familiar with Persona 5. Is it a medieval RPG?
No, it is a modern day JRPG. Persona is like
modern or future?
No, modern. Okay. Persona 5, well, I guess the Persona series as a whole, I don't know, 1 and 2 I'm not really too familiar with. I'm familiar since they came out on the PS2 with Persona 3. What those games are is they're half like dungeon crawling RPG and half life simulator. So you will go from going into the dungeon facing a shit ton of stuff, grinding out levels, getting new equipment, getting more money, getting more materials and stuff like that, fighting bosses. And then suddenly the next day, you'll wake up in the morning, you have to go to school. You'll figure out who you want to hang out with that day and create friendships that end up being better for your stats in the end. You can do things like go study so your knowledge increases so you can unlock more stuff later in. So it's a great mix of, like, you don't have to spend the entire game just fighting, and you also don't have to spend the entire time just like dating sim almost. Yeah. And it does a great job because it has a lot of characters with a lot of quirks to them. And they're not all just high schoolers. You'll have people that are like, some of the games will have like this old couple. There's this old widow that's like just getting over the death of her husband. There's like this creepy nurse who like really doesn't care for her job and just flirts with people. Like there's all this little weird like characters on the side, and there's also weird
nurse
shit.
Or nurse.
Nurse. I don't know what the fuck you said by nurse.
Male nurse.
Oh, whatever. There's even like weird because Japan, right? There's even like weird stuff. Like there's a character that's this just giant like you've probably seen it in my apartment, the inflatable like red teddy bear thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It's on top of my shelf. It's like this big inflatable teddy bear thing. He's holding up a box of Bootios from the New Day. As like he's Billy Mays, like selling this box of Bootios.
New.
As you do.
Day rocks.
But in this inflatable like bear costume, it turns out he's like this really handsome boy. Stop clapping, you piece of shit. That's gonna fucking spike. He's also this handsome, like blonde, like feminine looking boy too, because Japan.
Yeah. Japan.
But the game itself is basically just like it's like a high school simulator living in Japan, along with like your standard like dungeon crawler JRPG. So what Persona 5 Royal is doing essentially is taking the game that already came out a year ago and just making it a little bit bigger. They're adding a couple more things to it and adding more characters, adding new summons essentially, probably more weapons, probably a little bit more in terms of adding little snippets of stories, like maybe changing a couple things around. For the most part, it's like a remake without being a full remake. It's almost like if an expansion took the entire game and added to it.
When did Persona originally come out?
Oh god, like original PlayStation Dreamcast era.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, the original two I think were PlayStation.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
the Shin Megami Tensei series was not a big thing in the West until probably Persona 3 really did some.
Yeah.
I mean, digital was it Digital Devil Summoner Saga or something like that?
Oh yeah.
That also started really turning over, but the entire Shin Megami Tensei series that Persona belongs to really didn't hit until like mid PS2 era. Even though there was a shit ton of them, but Japan had most of them. It was kind of like how Star Ocean really didn't hit till PS2 either.
Yeah.
Because the original two games didn't kind of cross over that hard.
I'm excited to play the
First Departure?
re-release of the First Departure.
Yeah, that's
the first game.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Departure?
Star Ocean.
The first Star Ocean's being re-released.
Oh, okay, I've never played those.
Another JRPG.
Okay.
But that's going with. But yeah, like Persona 5 Royal is basically going to be like. I never actually finished Persona 5 because I got to the end dungeon, really didn't like the end villain, and just kind of shiny other thing directed my attention. I think Destiny 2 came out with new DLC at that point. I just switched.
Yeah.
But
are you still playing Destiny 2?
Oh god, no. I can't anymore. It's like
it was like a DLC for the game itself.
It's like you eating from the same fast food place so much that you just can't eat from them anymore.
I've never went into that because I could do that forever.
I know a lot of people who could do that for like Chris.
I remember working and going and getting Little Caesars pizza every day for dinner because $5, half a pizza for dinner. Bring it home, you have a half pizza.
Half
pizza.
I could eat the whole thing.
I was trying to be smart and divvied it up because I'm OCD like that. But by the time that I had like a month straight of Little Caesars pizza, it took me a while to be able to eat that shit again. So, but for me to be able to have a fresh spin on a game that I didn't finish, I'm hoping that at least gives me the chance to kind of go back and actually complete it and also get a bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this needs to be said during every podcast. Madden.
Okay. No one's looking forward to Madden. In fact, Madden just came out, so it doesn't technically count. It's not a new one's on it. You know it's
okay,
coming.
I just gotta say that the Madden curse has reached its peak with Antonio Brown.
I'm not a foot. Like, we weren't going to talk about it, but I will just say this before we move to Chris's game and then end this thing off because it's almost 9 o'clock here and we want to go to the bar. I cannot believe that even as a non-football fan, how entertaining that entire story was. Not even the greatest fiction writer could have written the way that story unfolded.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say about that.
No.
So, anyways, Chris, what do you got?
So mine's tough.
It isn't Cyberpunk. Cause have fun with that.
It's definitely Cyberpunk, but the
no, you're breathtaking.
No, you're breathtaking. No other game has enough Keanu Reeves.
Did you hear that E3 they want to make a lot more commercially friendly for the players? So they're going to do a lot more celebrity stuff.
Yes.
Which now that they want to do it, it would have been okay had they just left it alone. But you know that because they now want to do that,
now
it's not going to be good celebrities.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, here's this guy from that one TV show on Netflix that 10 people watched. Isn't that exciting? We'll be like,
if I see Terrence Howard playing fucking Fortnite or something, I'm going to be pissed.
Because
that's what they'll do. I don't know why.
Like,
that's what they do.
Here's the third character from 13 Reasons Why.
15 years. They won't drag out Keanu Reeves, who is relevant right now because of John Wick and Bill and Ted coming.
And
memes. Boyfriend.
Like, they're going to bring, like, Rob Lowe.
Oh god.
That's what they'll do.
If he does his character from Parks and Rec, I might be on board.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. Like they'll bring in people that you're like,
Adam?
You're not a big.
Christopher?
But anyways, I got off topic again. So what's your game so we can get the fuck out of
besides Cyberpunk, first, it's really hard to choose anything as my runner-up because there's not enough Keanu Reeves in any of these other games.
That is a good point.
It's just not. Unless you choose, like, John Wick Hex, which isn't actually
a John
Keanu
Wick
Reeves.
video game would be so good.
Yeah, it's some...
Oh, it'd be so
top
brutal.
down.
That's
so,
a VR game. That's
that
super
would be
hot.
so
in real
satisfying. So violently satisfying.
But my runner-up is tough because it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. I wasn't as super on board, but two things happened.
Oh,
One,
the trailer's
the
like,
new
I
trailer
didn't care
gave
for a
me the
while.
biggest hard-on I've had in my
Man.
entire life.
The latest trailer, I'm like, okay. I was casually like peeking around at like this game. Now it's like, oh shit, I'm so in. I don't know where I'm gonna find the time to play it because I got Watch Dogs and Cyberpunk coming at the same time. But
I've never finished the original Final Fantasy
Yeah, you
VII.
need
I don't
to.
think.
Well, actually,
I don't think
now.
if you can't finish the original 7, I don't think there's a goddamn chance you're gonna finish even the
Well, if
first
this one is
disc
in,
of this new game.
if this one is in separate parts,
Oh,
I
dude,
think it might be
it's
easier.
probably ending. I think actually they said it's going
It's
to end
ending at Midgard. So it's not
like,
far.
You're gonna like what in the game that's like 20 hours?
Yeah,
You're gonna probably
15,
turn that into 100.
15, 20.
Like a game that's normally like 100-ish hours, like in total, is probably gonna take like triple that.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for because goddamn, getting to walk around Midgard is gonna be so cool.
Yeah.
So was that your game or was that like?
No, it is my game because one, that new trailer came out, and two, I was in Chicago a couple weekends ago and went to a Final Fantasy concert,
That's
Distant
right.
World.
I hate you so
Stop
much. by the way.
Bears.
When they were playing their music, they've got a big projector up with they're playing scenes from each game. Usually, it's like the cutscenes for the newer games. The older games were hilarious
And they
because
snuck some shit in on you.
the first song that came out was one from the new game.
Yeah.
So the concert, they played a new song from the game, and they played a bunch of scenes from it. And I swear some of the scenes weren't from the trailer. They were like new scenes I hadn't seen yet. And I became even more excited for this game. I don't even have a PS4, and I might have to get one.
I will
Isn't
lend
it gonna be
you
a
my
multi-platform, though, or
PS4.
is
I
it
don't
only
know.
PS4?
See, that's the thing, because on PC, I would obviously prefer to pick that up. That's where I do all my
If it's
gaming.
on the PS only, I will lend you my PS4.
Okay,
No,
good.
you won't because
Well,
that's not
You're
true.
going to be playing Cyberpunk.
I actually won't.
Okay. But yeah, so I hope it comes out multi-platform. I'm sure it'll be a timed release, and I'm sure I can wait a few months or 6 months. I have so much of a backlog, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it looks like it is
But,
just PS4.
Yeah,
for
as
now.
of right now, I think it's just PS4.
Yeah,
But
it
I
is.
mean, it will go multi-platform.
It will. Yeah,
As
there's no
No
way.
way they won't. And I'm going to
that'd be
try my
absolutely
best
retarded.
to wait so I don't spend, $500 on the game to get also a PS4 versus just wait and have it on PC.
I will, as of this moment, I am going to the washroom.
All right.
Well, I guess this podcast is probably ending anyway. So
Yep.
because we are getting close to the end here, so you get the hell out of here. So at least I can end this thing without you saying Madden a million times before I try to go.
Madden.
Excuse me, that is Adam Trump's job.
And yet you still do it.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, I agree though. Like because there's so much in that like first 4 months of the year.
Yeah.
Because there's that, and I think that's
Cyber-
February or early March.
March 3rd?
Watch Dogs Legion is March. Cyberpunk is April.
Yeah.
And that's actually, you know what?
Something just
Since we're
got
talking about the
announced
future,
for February.
and we have a couple. I know exactly which. It's Last of Us. Last of Us got put on there. So for me, that means nothing. But
I mean, I don't have a PS4, so for me, it currently
to
means
end this
nothing.
off, let's even take a look at that little bit of stretch because I think a couple more things might have gotten added to it. So as I look here and have to scroll through all the filler indie shit.
I mean, there's probably some good indie games.
Okay, never mind. I can't do this right because Metacritic changed something.
Uh-oh.
And it's not actually as easy to... I'm going to try one more time, and maybe I just click something wrong, but if it's not the way that it used to be, oh, that's bad. Oh, that's real bad. That's a pain in the ass. Oh, there we go. I think I'm going to click something wrong. Thank God.
Human
All right.
error. Again.
So as I scroll through this, we get to February. So the new year in January, there is a new Dragon Ball Z game. Oh, remaster Crystal Chronicles. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm actually more excited for the re-release of Grandia 1 because I've never played
that's
it,
cool.
and I played through Grandia 2. That game was amazing.
Yeah. By the way, first departure's in December.
Fuck. My life is taking over by JRPGs because they don't take an hour.
So yeah, Crystal Chronicles January 23rd. Yakuza 5 remaster for me, that's February 11th.
Oh,
Last
fuck
of
yeah.
Us Part 2 is February 21st.
Are you
Gods and Monsters.
though?
What?
Last of Us 2.
No,
No, you
I'm
won't.
just saying in general. Gods and Monsters, which I think is that weird.
Ubisoft?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That sounds like
Looks
a
like they
Pokemon
took
type of game.
I think they took what it looked
That's
like.
that's that
Odyssey.
like weird like kiddish like thing that looked kind of interesting. That's
kind of looked like Odyssey but kiddish.
Yeah, that's end of February. Watch Dogs Legion is March 3rd.
Yep.
As well as the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yep.
Man,
that's a busy day.
So you're getting all the weebs buying one thing, and you're getting all the Western folks to buy another. So
yep.
Let's see what else. Another Romance. There's a 14th Romance of the Three Kingdoms game. Holy shit! It's like Dynasty Wars. It just never ends.
Holy fuck.
Cyberpunk April 16th. Trials of Mana is April 24th, and Marvel's Avengers is May the 15th.
That's another one. I do.
Wait,
that's the first 5 months.
Wait,
that's
not talking about the Ultimate Alliance game, right?
No, that's already out.
That's already out.
We're talking the one that we saw for consoles.
I didn't know that was out already.
It's on Switch, yeah. It's only
Switch exclusive.
I got a game more.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I really do.
You're on a gaming podcast.
You have all the time in the world. What are you doing, bud?
We're on a nerdy podcast.
Yeah, but we mostly talk about video games. Let's be honest.
I played video games right before coming here.
But anyways,
that's how I prepare.
Next time I will play video games while we're doing this.
I'm actually excited for the Avengers game. I want to see more.
I still want to see what the hell it is.
But if they announce that it's cross-platform or something like that, and we can all play together, the co-op, and it doesn't matter what system we're on, I will jerk off in public. I don't know what I'll do, but I will be
playing the game.
so excited that I won't be able to control myself.
Before we do anything, dibs on either Iron Man or
You don't get
Thor.
to dibs two things.
Dibs?
Okay, dibs on Thor.
By the way, I'm Cap.
So I don't give a fuck.
Who's I don't give a fuck?
Me.
I'm Thor.
If you're Thor and you're Cap, then I'm going to be Iron Man.
Or you be Black Widow.
She actually looked pretty cool. She can go invisible.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, because they're...
See, again, if you watch the trailers, you'd actually see these things.
You'd see. Or I'll be the Hulk and I will just win. Because how could he lose? Same as Thor.
Thanos.
Yes, it's true. If the game introduces Thanos in the first level, I'm going to be really pissed. If he's even in the game, I might be pissed.
I'd be surprised if he is, honestly.
Yeah, they can't do that.
I think they're going to
Thanos!
No, not in the first game. They'll do something small to start it.
Yeah,
because they got to make sure they can actually fucking make the game and make it a successful one first before they go with bringing the big guns. But anyways, we are almost an hour and a half in. We want to go drink and eat some wings. Well, you guys want to go drink, and we're all going to eat wings.
We're all going to eat wings.
So with that being said, thanks for watching, guys. In terms of the stuff on YouTube, if you're watching us on that platform, obviously like and subscribe to the channel. Leave us comments, and when it comes to the podcast itself, we are, like I said, we are for sure on Spotify.
Yep.
I will put the links to both that and Anchor below, which is where all our stuff is being hosted. Again, we should be at some point, I'm assuming in the next week, being on Apple, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and all these other various places.
Follow us on social media, Instagram and Facebook, VCR.podcast.
Okay. Nice. In terms of otherwise, I mean, because now we have video, I may not be putting the logo up. You follow me on Twitter at CSRadical. You follow him at Views of Shawls. You follow him at Jin_N_Chris_.
Yep.
Because the Twitch is the one with that one.
And the Twitch has no extra underscore, but Twitter is a motherfucker.
Actually remembering something. Thank God my memory is still functional. 20 years from now, I'm probably fucked.
Yeah. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, if you just happen to actually have
5-star the hell out of this shit.
Yeah, 5-star the hell out of this. Same as Google Podcasts. I know they've got a rating
also,
system.
if there's something you don't like, bring it on.
Yeah,
Tell
still
us.
Rate us 5-star, but then give us a comment why you hate us.
I say all
That's
the time
fine too.
in the comment section, if you want to tell us like why we're bad, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like
just still upvote
do
the video.
it, please. I want to hear this shit.
I'd like any interaction, because even if you say something really mean and I just get to laugh at it, because it's pretty hard to insult me online, because
this
I kind of assume none of you can say that to my face.
If you want to, we can do a mean tweet section. It'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, well, that's probably way in the future. By the
way,
when
we get our first tweet,
Vishal Singh is too fucking handsome.
That's no one's ever going to say that.
It is mean for someone to lie like that.
Now that you've said that, they will never say that.
Let him. Bring it on.
Lastly, I don't know if this is going to ever come in handy for a while, but Anchor does allow you to also send us voice messages. So if you ever want to ask us questions or anything like that, you can send it through Anchor. You can also just write it in the comments below and we'll remember, or tweet one of us. We don't get that many replies from people, so there's a pretty good chance we'll find it.
If anybody writes anything, we'll probably say it on the podcast.
Well, almost anything.
Currently, almost anything. Only racist things.
If you say Vishal is sexy, I'm immediately trashing that.
I can't do it.
No. If someone says you're sexy, I would fucking be like, dude, guess what happened? And you would fucking tattoo that shit on you.
No, I would not tattoo.
Okay.
I can't convince myself to tattoo the heartless symbol from Kingdom Hearts on my shoulder, and I've wanted that tattoo for 15 years.
Why would I tattoo on myself that I'm sexy when my face already does that?
Ayo!
So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. So, whether you're watching or listening to us on whatever podcast come from these days, again, I'm so happy that we're finally taking this into a different direction. We've got the t-shirts now.
It's all about the t-shirts.
Which, by the way, I think I might end up, thinking about selling them down the line, but obviously this is just we're gonna be nerds and be stupid and have our own logo on there that nobody's gonna understand.
We're going to the bar in our logos.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Listen.
I'm debating on that one. But with that being said,
big
do you
big
have
shit
one
is
last stupid
happening.
thing to say? Is that what we're going for here?
Yeah, I'm going to. Big shit's happening. Listen.
Madden.
How the tables have turned.
Big shit's happening, and I'm telling you all out there, if you feel like you're not happy, make a change. It's gonna be hard in the beginning, but you know what? It's gonna be worth it in the long run.
Oh man, thank God we're not doing the real life podcast. Holy shit, that would just be nothing but pure depression. So,
and my mama always said, life is like a box of chocolates. There's a variety.
At least it wasn't the same punchline. So that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.